Good evening. Good evening. We are going to start off this evening with the Star Spangled Banner with Eli Smith.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening and welcome parents, grandparents, friends, and family to graduation 2020. And oh, what a year it has been. We planned this night, tonight, making sure that we were in this stage 4, and Mrs. McGrath was a little nervous that we were going to, get to have this gathering, and I said, oh, ye of little faith, it will happen. And we were sure that it was going to be so warm that we put it at 7:30. Well, we were a little bit wrong on that, but that's okay. This is going to be a year to remember for you graduates, and you'll definitely have something to talk about at your reunions. You have worked hard to get here, and that moment has finally arrived. It starts when you are 5 years old, and 12 years later, you arrive at the finish line. Sometimes you may have thought, especially in the last couple months, that this moment would never come, and I'm sure that your parents did. And then suddenly it was here. And many of you have spent that entire time with us at Idaho Arts Charter School. If you have attended school with us since kindergarten, would you please stand? And please remain standing for just a second. These students started out with us at 12th Avenue, and I'm sure you parents remember that, the portables, and we had that amazing playground with like one slide. And we had like one bathroom, or two bathrooms, I think, in the main building where the elementary students were primarily housed. And we ate lunch in those classrooms, which we'll probably end up doing next year at our school. But anyway, thank you for staying with us for your entire 12 years at Idaho Arts Charter School. Thank you, parents, for trusting us with your children. Give yourself a round of applause for a job well done. There are several things that by attending Idaho Arts Charter School that make it a little bit different. We get to know our students well because we are a small school. We care about them like a family does, and deep friendships are made. The arts are central to what we do and influence our lives. We have some of the finest teachers working with our students and board members that are supportive of our mission. and we have some of the most talented students. They represent our school and themselves well. They are hardworking, conscientious, compassionate, caring, and kind. They have grit. They are accepting of others different than themselves. They will go far and make this world a better place. My final bit of advice to this graduating class comes from several people. I'm not witty enough to come up with these things first, so these aren't my quotes. But I'm going to do a few of them. Focus on the small things, even like making your bed every day. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never do the big things right. Be strong enough to say, I don't know, or I'm sorry. Life is short, but may go on for a very long time. Get good at something that you enjoy. If there's a choice, take a chance. Spend more time listening. Life must be fun, kindness is essential, hurt as few people as possible, and help some people along the way. And say thank you at least once a week. So now, on to the main event. Up first, we have a student performance of Maddie and Sophia.
Been talking about the way things changed, and my family lives in a different state. So if you don't know what to make of this, then we will not relate. So if you don't know what to make of this, then we will not relate. Oh, oh, oh. rivers till I reach you. Rivers and roads, rivers and roads, rivers till I reach you.
And now our salutatorian, Josie Kennedy.
Hello, friends, family, and beloved teachers. I'll make sure to keep this speech short and simple because I know most seniors have been waiting anxiously all quarantine for this moment. First, I would like to thank everyone who helped guide us on this journey. Thank you, teachers, for believing in each of your students and reminding them that they can do anything they put their minds to. Thank you, parents and guardians, for supporting your children through their high school journey, no matter how much you had to pay for school fees and possibly how many times you had to deal with tears from your child over Chapman's schoolwork. Fellow classmates, I am beyond proud and honored to be a part of class of 2020, even though we didn't win Spirit Week. Class of 2020, we are strong, we are resilient, and we aren't scared to speak our truths. And as we move on to the next chapter in our lives, I encourage you all to still embody these characteristics. We are destined to be successful, keeping in mind that success does not mean being the best or winning at everything. It means working hard to reach your aspirations. It means doing what makes you happy, and it means following your heart. So, class of 2020, I wish you all luck in your next adventure. Don't forget to break the rules, find your freedom, and live your life. Thank you.
Next, we have another student performance from Jules.
Hello, everyone. Everyone's soaking. Sorry about that. This song is called "Both Sides Now" by Joni Mitchell. Sorry, that sounded. Anyways, and I'll be doing it a cappella. So. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now they only. I'm sorry. But now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Thank you.
Next up is our valedictorian, Natalie Hughes.
Hello, everybody. Oh, you can see everyone from here. First off, I just want everyone to keep in mind, my dad told me this as we got out of the car, rain is symbolic of change, so don't be sad that it's raining at your graduation. You should be happy and lucky that you got rain and no one else did. All right, to the class of 2020, we finally made it. This has been a 13-year-long journey, and whether you spent those 13 years together with us at the school or you just joined last year, we all get to celebrate together. High school graduation is a really big milestone, but it's not the ceremony that graduates you, it's you. Effort is what brought us here, pushing through this year after year, summer after summer, and trial after trial. Some of us put in more effort than others, but all of us are here, and we made it in the end. Whether you're off to work, trade school, college, or you're joining the armed forces, I want to congratulate each of you for coming this far, but I also want you to remember that we didn't come this far to only come this far. This is a mile marker in your journey, but it is certainly not the end. So, before we go our separate ways, I want to give you some advice. We have lots of choices coming up ahead, and some of those choices are going to be between right and wrong, but the majority are between doing what's easy and doing what is worthwhile. Hard work will always be more rewarding than taking the easy way out. Life is full of struggles, but everything here on this earth was made to end. It's only a matter of who you are and where you'll be when you come out on the other side. Learning to endure and have patience are skills that take years to master, and believe me, I'm not perfect at either, but we should always try. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's an ongoing process that takes dedication and time. The earth is full of people who are trying their best, just like each of us. There are already plenty of voices that are loud and angry and opinionated, but every voice matters. We need to have more voices that are quiet, thoughtful, and who are willing to lead through example and not just words. You don't have to make history books or become president in order to influence others or change the world. By small and simple means are great things brought to pass. You can always look at the world and find something wrong with it. Remember to look on the bright side every once in a while because it's more worthwhile. Don't focus so much on other people's actions or shortcomings. Focus on yourself and the things you can change and what you can control. And with that, I say hats off to the graduates of 2020. Good luck and please be happy in life.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to the class of 2020. I'm so proud of each and every one of you, whether you're going to work, on a mission, or to college. But right now I'm going to recognize those who will be attending college or the military in the fall. And so I'm going to read the colleges that you'll be attending, and then after the ceremony you can come up and sign the college banners. All right, first of all, attending BSU, Boise State University in the fall is Sophia Bernal, Josie Kennedy, and Chloe Kilborn. Attending the College of Idaho in the fall is Garrison McGrath and Eli Smith. And I'm secretly hoping he chooses the College of Idaho, but Eli Smith is also considering the University of Idaho. He still hasn't quite made his decision. Somebody better show him the money. Same with all of you. Okay, attending CWI in the fall is Audrey Askew, Heidi Calixto, Vernon Greenland, Jacora Gregory, Kelly Hammonds, Matthias Haramoto Pete, Jennifer Julian, and Emily Neubauer. Attending Idaho State University in the fall, Natalie Hughes. Attending the University of Hawaii, Madison Johnson. Okay, let me see here. University of Idaho, Jules Dingledine. Attending Southern Methodist University, Peter Quarve. And attending the National Guard, and she's already signed up, Miss Taylor Smalley. Congratulations. And next up, I'd like to introduce our speaker of the evening, the beautiful Miss Valerie Mantle.
Microphones make me very uncomfortable, so here we are. I know a lot of us never thought we'd have this moment, like so many other moments we've lost this year. So if you don't mind, I hope you'll join me in a brief silence to honor those losses, as well as the miracles that have brought about our being here in this place today to celebrate these amazing people, the class of 2020. When I first found out that I might be speaking to you today, it was a whole nother world. And the things that I thought would shape what I was going to say to you kind of took a back seat. And then they got shoved back further. I've started and restarted this talk at least 3 times. First draft, pre-coronavirus, the classic graduation speech. Here's where I tell you how confident I am. Now that you've survived 13 years of public education, you are going to go out and change the world. You will become the healers and the peacemakers and the creative geniuses that will prepare human civilization for the 22nd century. But come on, nobody really believes that stuff, right? Let's ground that idea in a little reality. Some of you might not know, I know many of you do, that the events that were shaping my life before coronavirus revolved around losing my husband of 39 years after a grueling battle with cancer. And although I try to be a stoic, I've struggled, and sometimes I felt that my ties to this world were tenuous at best. So what saved me? What held me here and gave me the grace to begin to heal? Well, raise your hand if you stopped by my room this year just to say hey. Thank you. I have a sort of game I like to play when I'm in the hallways. See, I was that kid that never made eye contact, that never spoke to anyone in the hallways of my high school. I didn't know it at the time, but I was struggling with an anxiety disorder, and it was a kind of hell, feeling completely alone in a crowd of people. So now I make a point when I can of looking people in the eye and saying hello and hopefully remembering your name. So raise your hand if you looked back and said hello to me. Raise your hand if you danced or sang or played an instrument or acted in a performance this year. Hung an artwork in the gallery. To see you guys every day and to see you practicing your craft, striving to perfect what it is you do, you tethered me to this earth. And I'm not just saying it to be nice. The fact that I am standing here speaking to you today is a testament to its truth. Early after returning to work after my husband's passing, I decided to drag myself away from home one evening to go to a school concert. It was tough to sit alone in a crowd of families. Even after my son graduated from IACS, my husband loved to come to school concerts with me. He was a trombone player in school. Anyway, second half of the concert, Phoenix Vibe takes the stage, and they have a flute player. And I'm thinking, cool, flute player. You know, I play the flute too. No. What I do is point the mouthpiece in the general direction of my face, kind of flap my fingers and pray for the best. What you do, Peter, is transformative. And you grounded me. In that moment, you made me pay attention. And in that moment, you saved my life. And we'd never met. So thank you. And to every one of you that shared your art this year, you saved lives. Maddie Ames, girl, your senior project, you saved my life. The reality is, you already have the capacity to be the healers and the peacemakers and the creative geniuses. I don't want to be glib about this, but isn't that the essential gift of the arts? They provide a foundation for who we are as a culture and connect us to one another in this shared experience, even now as we hide behind masks and stand 6 feet apart. When we make art, we remind each other of our humanity. Yeah, that was speech 1, and it was going to be a tearjerker. Speech 2, schools close. We all shelter in place. But hey, we've mostly survived coronavirus, COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, Miss Rona if you're nasty. It was a rough go, but we made it, right? And now the best is yet to come. And what matters now is, how will we reshape our world now that the worst is past us? Insert nervous laughter here. This second draft was going to start with a quote, but I wasn't sure which one. I perseverated between Nietzsche and Jerry Garcia. It was a toss-up between what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and what a long, strange trip it's been. Let's start with Nietzsche. It seems on its surface appropriate to this time. Aren't we stronger now than we were 3 months ago? Haven't we weathered a mighty storm? But there's a brutality, an uncomfortable rigidity to this view that life is a never-ending series of fortifying blows. And quoting the Grateful Dead, well, that was just to get a laugh, but it has been a long, strange trip. What both of these philosophies share, however, is the notion that whether life's events are simply trials that we grimly endure or fever dreams from which we blissfully wake, our life's experiences are best behind us. But I invite you to explore a different reality, that this moment, this chilly mid-June evening, is what is to be lived. A friend of mine who recently went through some difficult times of her own said to me, you know, I thought I was the kind of person who had their act together. My first instinct was to encourage her that indeed she was that kind of person, but I stopped myself because that's a fairy tale. There is no permanent state of having it all together. The only thing that's permanent is change. Everything changes, whether you embrace for impact, numb yourself to the prospects, or embrace life as it comes. Which brings me to speech rewrite number 3, where we stand now. But warning, I'm writing this on Friday, June 12th, and who knows what this weekend will bring. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 4th rewrite. Spoiler alert, there wasn't. As for this draft, I could not in good conscience speak to you today without addressing the 8 minutes and 46 seconds captured on cell phone video in Minneapolis, Minnesota on May 25th of this year that I hope will truly transform how we live together on this planet. I was heartened to see the social media posts so many of you shared, attending various civil rights vigils recently. Well, please tell me that you are practicing good social distancing. It's easy to feel powerless during events like this that seem so out of our control, but you are not powerless. You have your voice, and now that you're 18 years old, you have the vote. Use them both. Now that the initial shock is over, the images posted to social media, what now? How do we, as they say, keep our foot on the gas? I find inspiration in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. And thanks to Ms. Walker, you know this one, front and back. Now, this document has been the source of many an internet meme, a click-worthy quote accompanied by an emotionally stirring image. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Justice too long delayed is justice denied, but Ms. Walker taught you better than that. This, one of the greatest documents in U.S. history, deserves a more nuanced and measured reading. It's not as poetic, but in this letter, King lays out a clear course of action during times of injustice, the first step of which is the collection of facts. Facts. That's a tricky word these days. Another nuanced and complicated American, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, once wrote, "Everyone is entitled to his own opinions, not his own facts." But that's the way we talk to each other now. I shout my facts across a gaping wasteland of half-truths and intellectually lazy catchphrases, and you shout yours back at me. Or worse, we cancel anyone whose facts run counter to our own and spend our lives floating blissfully in a sea of bias-confirming rubbish. Don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm not saying potato, potato. Far from it. I believe that our society is entering a tipping point. And here's where I get back to speech number 1, where I tell you that you are the generation that will change the world. You can be, and here's how. Remember King's steps towards social justice? Gather the facts before you open your mouth, because if you care about justice, you have got to care about the truth. Then step 2, negotiate. We have got to find a way to reach across the wasteland of bad ideas and falsehoods that infest our media and talk to each other. Have real conversations with real people, preferably people who disagree with you every now and then. Don't just engage in social media jousting matches. I think it's essential that we embrace this moment, this new now, and remember that it's only in looking back, like Nietzsche or the Grateful Dead, that we will judge how we reacted and were shaped by these events. So let us welcome the uncertainty and the messiness of this moment. Know that it's already in your resume that you are the healers and the peacemakers and the creative agents for change, and you will find a way to make it a better world. Thank you.
Wowza, that was good. Okay, I have the honor of presenting 2 very deserving students with $200 scholarships, and I'm going to read a little bit of the excerpts from their scholarship applications, and then I'll surprise you with the winners. The first wrote, "I found security and a home at Idaho Arts. I really felt like I belonged for the first time. My teachers were some of the first people to push me towards greatness, even in elementary school. I remember Mrs. Arnold would always tell me how I was going to accomplish amazing things and how my future was going to be bright. She started a light in me that continues to burn even today. And in physical science class of 9th grade with Mr. Bradfield was when my love of learning ignited. I don't know for sure if it was just the materials that I fell in love with or the way it was taught to me that captured my interest. It started there and blossomed into other aspects of my life. Everything I gained at this school, I am so grateful for because it has made me the person I am today." And this student is going to be a cardiothoracic surgeon someday, and that is Chloe Kilborn. So come on up, Chloe. I do have a certificate for you. Okay, let's give her one more round of applause. really, really bad at social distancing, by the way. You didn't notice. All right, our second student wrote, starting here in 7th grade was probably one of the best things to ever happen to me. I had been waiting 8 years prior to getting into this school. It was my dream. Whew. Having hopped around schools all through elementary, IACS was a school I had always hoped I would end up at. When I got here, I was immediately welcomed by many familiar and unfamiliar faces. I felt submerged in a completely different type of schooling environment. The biggest difference? People cared about me. I was surprised to see that there was no tolerance for bullying, something I was not used to at other schools. I made friends with my peers and teachers very quickly. This school single-handedly assisted me in showing me it was okay to be a little loud, a bit crazy, and have a whole lot of love. Each one of my teachers has supported me, listened to me, and helped me answer questions I wouldn't have otherwise found the answer to. I feel so much love and compassion for every aspect of this school. I genuinely feel that not only did it and all of my teachers save me, but this school also made me the person I am, so extremely content to be today. I could not be more thankful that I came here at the time I did, and I am so happy to have made such a loving family away from home, one that I am confident will last forever. And I think, and I hope to say that you all feel this way about our school. This student has enrolled in the National Guard, and that is Taylor Smalley.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for an extra long time. We have Ms. Collins and Heather Neubauer, our board president, who happens to also be Emily's mom, are going to be handing out diplomas. And as I say your name, if you could stand and come through down this center aisle, right here. Just kind of go this way or this way and come up. Grab your diploma, and then you'll just walk around and go back, okay? All right. And families, feel free, and not just families, but everybody, feel free to cheer as loud as you want. We might have to actually cheer really loud over the trains, so we have to be super in a spirit of celebration. Our first graduate, Audrey Askew. Good job, Audrey. Let's give her another hand. Sophia Jolie Bernal. Sarah Marty Ann Boischlein. Caitlin Teresa Brogue. Heidi Odeli Calixto. Jules Bella Hope Dingledine. Vernon Leroy Greenland. Chikora Phyllis Ann Gregory. Lily Jean Guthrie. Kelly Faye Hammonds. Matthias Masao Haramoto Pete. Duncan Patrick Helmer. Trinity Ann Hodge. Natalie Hughes. Madison Haley Johnson. Jennifer Vanessa Julian. Josie Alexis Kennedy. Ashley Ray Kimball. Joshua David Martez. Chloe, I missed you. I'm so sorry. I don't know how, but I'm going to go back to a very important person whose last name starts with a K. Miss Chloe Raylyn Kalia Kilborn. Good job, Chloe. All right. Sorry about that. I guess my bifocals aren't working today. Next up, Madison Elizabeth Mon Ames. Kevin Alexander McEnany. I don't think Kevin's here tonight. Garrison Rayner McGrath. That's my son. Jasmine Renee Morales. Emily Ryan Neubauer. That's her mom. Caitlin Elizabeth Odell. Jenna Zhangzhu Noel Pearl. Anthony Hunter Pion. Peter Allen Tiemann Corvey. Grace Annalise Randall. Elizabeth Laura Risner. Tatiana Ruiz. Angelica Sanchez. Eliza Loretta Seeley. Mason Olin Shriver. Chasten William Sims. Taylor Rose Smalley. Elijah Drew Smith. Peyton Marie Wilcom. Kendall Riley Yost. Would the class of 2020 please stand? Let's give them a big round of applause. Would you please take your tassel? Are you ready? Go ahead and move it. And you have graduated! Congratulations! Throw that cap up in the air if you want to. You can throw your caps up if you want. That's kind of a fun thing to do. All right, you guys, congratulations.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.